join a political party?
I encourage them to join the political parties because it is through these political parties that we will get positions to change the narrative of our country.
Right.
Because without a political party, let me give you a life example. When you're in a political party, compared to an independent candidate, when you're in a political party, you have an upper hand.
Right.
Because for the independent candidate, it will be hard to counter the people in the political party because there's a structure to the grassroots elections. So it's easier to mobilize in a political party compared to you as an independent.
Right. The reason I was asking that is because GeoPoll conducted research last week, from the 17th of this month. And according to GeoPoll, they say youth comprised 35% of the total membership of political parties in 2022. Right now, it's about 3 years later after 2022. So maybe the numbers have changed, and because we've seen a number of political parties having a drive to, have more members. I don't know, from Omari, from Kisii, as a youth leader, do young people even want to get into political parties?
According to me, it is just enlightenment on the policies. Where the first policy is about the formation of political parties. You find out when a political party is formed, it is formed in silence. And there's no enlightenment. For example, I saw yesterday about 6 parties were gazetted, new parties. But you can't know when they were formed. You find there's zero knowledge to youths when the political parties are formed. The second thing, it comes in the party formation. You find youths are given just one seat in the neck, which is the youth representative. And you find out that youth representative is of the age gap of, again, 35 to 40. That's not a youth.
If you would allow me, I would chip into this, to what my senior is saying, and to what Timothy Turunga was saying. They seem to agree that we need a political party.
Right.
But they seem to get it wrong. They have the disillusion that we joining those political parties, we in a way are going to shape them for the better. This will not work. The current political parties, as I've alluded to before, are owned by these party leaders exclusively. Ask yourself why the Democratic Party or the Republican Party function autonomously. Because the party leaders who founded these parties are long gone. These parties are now driven by ideologies. In Kenya and in Africa, most political parties belong to the party leaders, and they run at the whims and at the behest of the party leaders. That is the problem we have. That even if Kasmuel joined ODM, and myself, if I decided to join Jubilee, Timothy here decides to join DAP, we are not going to change those political parties. In our numbers, we are not going to change them because they were founded by someone and they exist to serve their interests. We need our own political party.
Right. Isaka, and just from what he's talking about, reminds me of YK92, and a lot of people really refer to it at that. Do you think we are looking at another YK92, where if young people are getting into either parties they form or existing parties, that they can actually change the structure of how these parties have been run?
I'll begin by saying that one of the gravest mistakes we made on 25th June last year, after occupying Parliament, is that we came back, we retreated, but then we forgot to form a party and have leaders. This was a political process. It was very difficult, and is still very difficult for us to make any move without leaders. If we want to achieve anything in a political process, we must have leadership.
So it was
saying that we are leaderless,
yes,
we are faceless, we are tribeless, we are cashless, then we become useless.
Okay.
We need leaders for us to advance in this political move. But again, for instance, if I was to become the candidate for presidency, the Gen Z candidate for presidency, I'm looking at these political grounds where I have to win the presidential seat, then come back to work with Raila Amolo Odinga. Because this one guy who has reached to a point where he enjoys the privileges of being a president by losing elections. Right. Whereby when you go to elections, we are only electing somebody who will work with him.
Right.
Even in 2027, people are already looking for somebody who they will elect to work with Raila Odinga.